I've heard all the previous backstory you can. Can I read from the beginning? Well, sure. All right, reading from the beginning. A history of Phlan and the Moonsea reaches. To the Moonsea, this ancient city at this pool Phlan time, the famine of the princes with the death of Phlan made 300 years disaster. Remnants of Castle made the reemergence of Phlan. All right, so now that you're all caught up, that should have been the end of Phlan's story, but it was not so. Men remember the tales of Valihavo, who brought the first city of Phlan back from its ruins. Adventurers, smugglers, and small traders visited the region and brought back tales of Phlan under control of its evil masters. Many of the buildings were burned, but many others were spared. The shell of the Temple of Tyr had been rebuilt, dedicated to some darker, more evil god. Centaurium spies and agents of dark Vasan nobles met and planned in Phlan, and the riches of the ages still survived for those who sought to look. In time, more modest men returned to Phlan to rebuild her. A stockaded community rose among the rubble of the past glories. These men intended to engage in the same profession as those before them, for Phlan still occupied a prime position for trading on the Moonsea. However, until the city was cleared, the barren river made clean, and the competing city-states pacified, Phlan was likely to stay in impoverished ruins. 2 years ago, in the year of the worm, two things happened that would mean a change of Phlan's future. First was the flight of the dragons that surged through the northern regions of the lands of the Inner Sea. Due to a cause unknown, great worms came down from the far north, destroying all in their path. These are not the rare opportunistic dragons seeking alliance with humanoid tribes, but rather huge waves of angry scaled monsters, bringing destruction wherever they traveled. Many of the Moonsea and Daletown suffered great destruction in the battles that followed. Yulash was utterly ruined by the attack. Hillsfar was also greatly damaged. The most telling blow was delivered by the body of a great dragon that fell into the Hillsfar harbor, blocking that entrance for over a month. Much of Phlan was also smashed into a smoking ruin by these beasts. Strangely, though, it worked in the favor of the men who still lived there. Most of the damage was taken in the already ruined section of the city, where various evil warlords vied for control and riches. The attack of the dragons broke their power, creating a vacuum in the control of the city and giving the men of Phlan a chance to reestablish themselves in their homes. Yet this would not occur without leaders, and the reappearance of the Council of Phlan was the second great thing to occur in the city. Descendants of the last council still survived all the turmoil that had occurred, and many families wished to return to the land. These leaders were no great mages or wondrous fighters, but traders, merchants, and clerics. Their leaders, who remain to this day, were the shrewd and powerful trader Ulrich Eberhard, the retired mercenary captain Werner von Erslingen, and the Bishop of Brachio of Tyr. They've been joined by their junior member, the trader of House Cadorna. Well, technically, Posphyrus of the ancient House Cadorna, but now we know he's a filthy traitor. Together, the council has proposed exactly that which the Valhavo accomplished so many years ago, clearing the city by means of recruited adventurers. The promise of great treasure and the myth of the Bull of Radiance provided adventurers with an irresistible draw. The council published notices and paid traveling bards to make sure that the story of Phlan's waiting riches was distributed all around the Moonsea and beyond. And sorry, I am totally just like, blah. You played a Zentarum spy in a roleplay once? Ah. Yes, we are in the Moonsea. We're on the northern edge. And actually, I forget if it was last stream or the one before that. We got invited to a dinner with the Zentarum. And it was where Cadorna was backstabbing us. But basically, we were having dinner. They were like asking us probing questions. Every time they were getting a little bit too close, Kuz would be like, boom, on the table. Like, next question, moving on. Don't tell them anything. They're a bunch of liars and spies. And it was like, Kuz, you're being a little rude to our host. And it's like, oh, we're going to kill all these guys. No, I mean, I'm sorry I said it to your face. We're going to kill you all. Hey, Hostway, how's it going? Just going to be background lurking? Need a calming voice in the background. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be calm very long because I'm going to give you a shout out. And when you get a shout out, Josue, it's hard to be calm with your crazy chats and crazy gameplay and your contagious enthusiasm. There you go. It's hard to be calm around you. No lie. It's always fun to go to your streams. But yeah, we we ended up killing a couple hundred Zentaran people. You know, because. Anyways, Phlan of today. The city of Phlan, built on ruins upon ruins, is a city at war. It's divided between the human forces of the council and those evil forces that hold a great deal of the city under their sway still. The human territories of Phlan are nestled behind a strong stockade of stone quarried from the ruins and trees lumbered from the quivering forest. A substantial city guard patrols the openings in the walls at all hours, always ready to repel any attacks by the old city's evil inhabitants. The buildings of rebuilt Phlan are sturdy and utilitarian, with little of the splendor of the ancient past. The glories of the past shine through in an ancient column now used to support a stable's wooden roof or a faded fresco overlooking an adventurer's taproom. The past is always with the inhabitants of Phlan, reminding them of what once was and what could yet be. The natives of Phlan are a mixed group, including descendants of the families of the Valhavos days and returnees who seek to reclaim lands and treasures lost to the Dragon Horde so many years ago. The city is also filled with adventurers seeking new fortunes and traders hoping to reestablish the old trading lines. Orcs and other generally evil humanoids are viewed with alarm within the city, obviously. Though evil humans come and go unmolested with the ships, it's said that spies from the other cities of the Moonsea make regular calls with the ships, overseeing the progress of the council in reestablishing the city. If the council is too successful, some say, then sabotage may be in order to prevent Phlan from returning to its former power. The lands beyond the civilized stockade are wild ruins controlled by whatever local faction or tribe holds that piece of land. Control lasts only as long as the reach of claw or sword. Petty bands of orcs, goblins, and men vie for power, some led by even more sinister monsters. Much of Phlan's ruined greatness can be found in the Old City. The main sites include the forgotten riches of the wealthy old nobles' houses, Podol Plaza, the center of the old trading district, and the old temple, now dedicated to the dark god Bane. Valhalla Castle has been refortified and is being used as a headquarters for one faction leader or another. That's our current goal, and also the end game goal. Phlan remains now, as it has ever been, a city with the greatest of potential. In the cycles of its rise and fall, legends have risen before. In engineering New Phlan's renaissance, new legends are sure to emerge. Done with the backstory. Now we can finish the game.